Welcome to The Art of Being Unstoppable, the podcast where we will go beyond the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Be part of down-to-earth, no BS conversations where we will explore hot topics on love and money, relationships and business, beauty, and who we get to be with all that shit in between. With our insights and your actions, let's be unstoppable together. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Art of Being Unstoppable. And today we're talking about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I think yours too, Vicky, because things have been unfolding a lot lately about risk aversion and why as human beings are we so afraid of risk? And what is the impact not only in your life, but in business? If you're in business and you're risk aversive, I'm telling you right now, you are holding yourself back. But the good news is you're in the right place. We're going to share with you how to get outside of that fear of the unknown and take some calculated risks so that you can move forward in your business. So, Vicky, do you remember the first time you ever invested in yourself?
I do. It was with you. Yeah.
You can't mix it up, you guys. You can't. I wasn't sure what you were going to say.
You know, when I lost my parents in 2021, a friend of mine, it was the end of 2021, she had said, after, seeing what I was going through for about 6 months, she had said, you really need to start investing in you. And I thought, yeah, right? What do you mean investing in me? I do my thing. I have I hang out with my girls. I have social time. She goes, no. It's not about going and getting a facial or a pedicure or hanging out with your girls. It's investing in you and in your being and your person. And I'm like, whatever. So 6 weeks later, she came back and she said, okay, I see where you're going and you need to do this. It's not about a have to, it's about a need to. So I said, okay, give me your number. So she gave me your number and I had a conversation with you and you had just asked me and you can probably attest to this, the first few conversations, I cried pretty much the entire hour of each of our visits. It was opening up something for myself that I've never done before. I have been an entrepreneur most of my life. I owned a salon, I've worked, but I always took care of everybody else. I took care of my staff, my clients, my husband, my parents when they got sick. I took care of my children, my grandchildren. It was never about taking care of me and taking on me. So when I first did, and you asked some pretty tough questions. I'm not going to lie. But it was tough because I'd never been asked them before, not tough because they weren't something I could answer. So, not going through it, not knowing that what is personal development and how do you take yourself on? What does that even mean? And now I've got to say that I just want to spread the word to every single person that I know that how important it is to actually take yourself on and how different life is once you take that step. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a hell of a lot harder to sit in your shit than it is to take that step.
And I think that's so important what you just said, because I remember the first time that I invested in myself. It was a $755 investment. And I remember in the moment, even when I was making that investment, I didn't believe it was for me. I thought, oh, I'm a coach and I'm going to learn some tools and strategies and I'll be able to give it to my clients. I actually didn't believe that something was going to shift inside of me because it wasn't even part of my awareness what could be possible. I didn't even know that coaching existed besides Tony Robbins. I thought Tony Robbins was the only coach in the world. And I don't know how many people ask me, what exactly do you do? And so many people say, oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. And that was me, just like me. I don't need that. All the people in this room need this because I thought if I got help, that it was there was something wrong with me. So I wasn't willing to see that. And so it was a risk for me to make that investment. Here I was, recently separated, a single mom, one income, just bought a new house, $755 USD. But I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take that risk because I'm going to give it away to others. I'm going to learn tools, strategies. But it's funny because after I made that first investment, it was almost like I could see what's on the other side of the risk. It's the reward. But I had to jump in to just experience what that was like. And then my next investment, I went from $755 to $7,500. And I remember sitting at the edge of my seat thinking, oh my gosh, I just saved for a cruise to take me and my daughters on. I saved for 2 years and I had a choice. Take this risk and hope that I can get it back. Risk taking a trip with my daughters or like staying stuck where I am. And that was not easy for me because my employee mindset was, what do I have to lose? I'm going to lose the $500, not going to be able to take my kids on a trip. I'm not going to that. My brain defaulted to all the things that weren't going to happen. And I see that I had to make a shift from employee to entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is, I get to invest money to make more money. Can I get a return on my investment? Do I believe that I will take the actions to get the help that I need to move forward? It was that shift that had me say,
you just said the magic word. Will you take the actions? We can invest. How often do we, buy a gym membership and you invest every month and you never go to the gym? And I'm not saying, but I'm saying many people do that, right? Or I'm going to try this new diet or this new this or that, and you don't follow through. There's no action to get the results. Your intention is good because when I jumped in with you, you opened a door for me that I I couldn't even imagine not knowing now.
mm-hmm.
But I also invested then in another program, right? And then I invested in another program and I've learned and opened so many doors for myself. And I have shifted in ways that I never even knew were possible because I took the step, but then I took the action. It's kind of like, even for an example, it doesn't even have to be in yourself. It can be in, say you do an investment with money. So we had some investments, and last year my lady said to me, so what do you want to do? And my husband was like, oh, I'll just stay with the low risk, just the low risk. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go up a little bit. I want the mid to low. Like I want to go up a little bit higher. And in 1 year, I made 19.56% on my money. He only made 12. He still made 12. Not only, he made 12%, but that's 7% difference. Only because I trusted and knowing where the market was and everything, but I trusted in that. Now that's not going to be the norm moving forward. It really probably won't be, but I know that there was going to be a return on my investment. So if we can do that with funds for our retirement, right? We all invest in RSPs or this or that or whatever we're doing. But if you're not investing in yourself, by the time you get to retirement, you won't even be able to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, that I heard you say is the trust factor. And we don't trust ourselves. And sometimes I say, don't just go taking all of these risks without thinking. You need to take calculated risks. So I've made the mistake in the past of trusting so-called experts because they sold me on a pipe dream, a dream of the future that I could create. If I just do this and this and this, this is what's going to happen. Now, I don't regret those investments because I may not have gotten a return on my investment, but it led me right here to say to people, listen, I coach and train entrepreneurs to grow their businesses online. So I'm like, if you're sending out 1,000 cold emails, I don't care what people tell you. It doesn't work anymore. And this is why. There's no trust. People don't know you. The odds of them actually taking an action from something that they don't know anything about, they don't know anything about you. It sounded really good at the time. We're going to create 8 email accounts and we're going to give your value away. And I was enrolled in the possibility. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I need. But I realized you can't take yourself out of the equation. You know what I mean by that? You can't throw money at a solution and expect somebody else to solve it. It's up to me.
Yes.
And the only way to grow a business, really, even any service-based business is about building relationships.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
You know,
How do you think that there's so many hairstylists just in our city alone? There's a salon or 6 on every corner. How do you think that each one of those people make a living? Because people know, like, and trust them.
right.
Because they're building their brand by standing behind that chair and taking on themselves and showing people what they can create. Right?
It's your way of being. You know,
That's
you ever go to a hairstylist and all they do is dump their shit. I mean, I've had this experience where somebody's like talking all of their shit and drama. And I'm like, whoa, I'm in the chair. I should be talking about my shit right now.
right.
But then it's like those people, I don't know why people aren't coming back to me. Well, it's not because you're not good at what you do. It's who you're being.
Mhm.
People
That's right.
come back or not. And it's no different
Absolutely.
in business with coaching. So many coaches and consultants will come to me and they'll say, Tina, like my business isn't working. I'll say, okay, great. The first question I ask, what are you doing for personal development? It's like deer in headlights. Well, I meditate, I eat well. I know, but what are you doing to get underneath what's getting in your way? Are you getting coaching? Well, no, I haven't gotten coaching. Like, so you don't believe in the coaching process? How can you enroll people in the coaching process? It doesn't work that way. Well, I don't have the money to invest. I'm like, cool. What are you going to do to create it? What are you going to do to find it? What are you going to do to, to get out of your way? What's the solution to your problem? Well, and then that's where the risk comes in. But if I invest in, I'm like, I know, I get it. I know what that feeling is like, wondering if it will work and then asking yourself the question. So these are the 3 questions that I ask myself when I'm about to make an investment. The first question is, do I trust myself? Do I trust myself to take the actions? The second question I ask is, do I trust the person who's providing this solution for me? And in the past, I didn't do my due diligence. I just trusted people. Instead of checking them out, seeing, it's like that in relationships, how you show up in one area, how you should, now it's like, okay, do I trust this person? The only way I can trust them is not by what they're saying, by actually looking at who they are online, offline. Who are they being? Is this somebody that I want to do business with? And the third question is, it's like a green light, right? Trust myself, trust the other, and trust their solution. Now, I ask myself, when it's a service-based solution, will this help me build relationships with others? Authentic relationships. And if the answer is no, it's a no. Because I know in the industry that we're in, services, coaching, consulting, service-based, it's about relationships. And I'm not making an impact or adding value, building relationships with people, me, not relying on somebody else to do that for me. That solution will not work. It will not work. And I can say that with 100% certainty because after $120,000 of investments, and I'm talking marketing solutions, sales solutions, personal development, business development, I believe I had to go through all of those scenarios so that I can determine what works, what doesn't work, so that I can let people know, listen, I've been there. I made the investments. You don't have to. And I like to think that I have a lot of credibility. We've won 4 global business awards, taken over 3,000 people through our programs, 1,500 paid clients. I've had over 3,000 enrollment conversations. I'm a pretty good judge of seeing patterns in people and how they show up. And I've been on Forbes, USA Today, lots of credibility. So I know if it's hard for me, it's going to be hard for somebody with no credibility. So I say, when you're looking for a solution to the problem, find somebody who's already made the mistakes so that you don't have to.
Yeah.
Somebody who's already invested in solutions, has tried it out. And that's what I believe now, right? What have you done to do this yourself? What mistakes have you made? What do you notice in the industry? What are the patterns? And then that's how I make calculated risks. If you've done it and it's good for you, I believe that it can be good for me. And so when it comes to risk aversion, taking risks is one of our primary human fears. We are some people like to take risks and they thrive off of it, the adrenaline, and they just do stupid shit all the time.
Yeah.
But knowing that this is part of our human character and nature to feel this way, it's like standing at the edge of the cliff and wondering what's on the other side. And are you willing to trust the process? Are you willing to take a deep breath and say, okay, this is uncomfortable. This is outside my comfort zone. But being real, this is the other part. Being real about where we are and where we want to be.
Yes.
If we don't like the movie that we're in right now, if we don't like parts of our business, parts of our life, parts of our relationship, and it's just not working, unless you're willing to take a risk, you stay exactly where you are until you do. So you delay and prolong the inevitable, whether it's in a relationship or business. I had an experience last week where this guy who is really great at growing Instagram profiles and making a bigger impact on Instagram reached out to me. I had a call with him 6 months ago. I'm like, no, LinkedIn's my platform. I'm not worried about Instagram. And then my Instagram account stayed exactly where it was. 20,000 followers, 0 engagement, 0 attraction, because I don't care about it. It's there. And so we reached out again 3 months later. He's like, hey, Tina, how's it going? How's your Instagram? I'm like, pretty much the same place it was. He's like, there are a lot of people that are looking for help on Instagram. There are a lot of people that are looking for solutions to the problems that you can solve. If you don't show up, they might stay stuck. Are you okay with that?
And I think that that's the key, right? In what we do is I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with not being able to help as many people as I can. You're the same. We want to be able to, we have the knowledge, we have the awareness. We want to be able to give it away, give it to those people that need the help. Take that one step. If we can say anything, just take that first step.
Yeah.
We'll hold your hand. You know what I mean? Like, we'll hold your hand, but you got to take the step for you.
Exactly. And so he was asking me the hard questions. If things don't change, are you okay with being exactly where you are? And I'm like, well, other parts of my business and life are fine. Like LinkedIn is going well and Facebook is going well and I'm creating a business. But then I was like, but what if? What if I could make a bigger impact with reels and videos and give more value? And my excuse is I don't have time. I don't have time to do all these videos. I'm building a business. I don't have time. It's like, okay, time is an excuse. Where are you going to put?
Is an excuse?
Are you going to make it a priority?
That's right.
So anyways, he said, this is what I could do. And he went into what his offer was. I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. And then he's like, okay, the investment is 5,000 pounds for 3 months. And I was like, 5,000 pounds, I'm doing the calculations, 8,500 Canadian dollars, 8,500 to help me with this. My employee brain was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money to lose. I could be doing this and doing that. And then my entrepreneur brain was like, okay, if he can help me and I generate 1 client, I've got a return on my investment. And then if I can do that at scale and create 10 opportunities, 20 opportunities, then I started thinking about the possibilities. And then once I was in the possibility of what I could create, I had to ask myself the 3 questions. Do I trust myself? Do I trust him to show up with integrity and do what he says he's going to do? And do I trust his process? And based on my experience, I'm like, yeah, I know that this is what it's going to take. And I know also I need accountability. If I'm investing $8,500, if he says to me, we need to put out 30 videos, you better damn well believe I'm going to get that shit done, because now I have something on the line here. I'm risking, so that's where the question comes in. Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to move the needle in an area that's not working? For me,
the action. There's your action, right? The action.
And this is what we talk about, the art of being unstoppable. Are you willing to take the uncomfortable actions, doing videos? People think, oh, you do videos all the time. No, I'm so inconsistent with it. The only time I do videos is when somebody's lighting a fire under my ass to do it, because I'm building a business. I'm doing enrollment calls. I'm growing on this. I'm like, there's a million things that I'm doing, and I'm a mom, and my kids play travel volleyball, and we have all these
Yeah.
reasons and excuses, but is it a priority? Not making money, it's making an impact. So we got to ask ourselves these questions. And this is the only way to get outside of our risk aversion, is to take that first step, ask ourselves the questions. And one thing that I do believe too, it's only money. When you are an entrepreneur, you can make more money. If other people can make money, so can you, so can we.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
when you're not attached to the money, $8,500 would pay my mortgage for 3 months. It's not chump change. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million or not. It's a significant amount of money. But at the end of the day, it takes money to make money. When we get to choose to stay unstuck, but there's a reason why 85% of businesses fail. And it's because they're afraid to take risks.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it. So if we can be unstoppable and see that we have it within ourselves to create whatever we want, we really do have it, but it's going to take letting go of the version of you that got you this far, because the version of you that got you this far will not get you to the next level. Not in your relationships, not in your business, not in your life. I believe that the entrepreneurship journey is about letting go of the old and creating the new. And the only way to create the new is to get outside our comfort zone. And we're going to do another episode right after this about comfort zones, because they are not what you think they are. They really aren't. But we're going to open your awareness to show you what comfort zone you actually have and why risk aversion feels so significant for you. It's because of your comfort zone. But we're going to break that down and really, let's be unstoppable.
Let's be unstoppable together. And intention plus action equals results. And if you have the intention that you want to do something, you get to do it with the action that you take. You can't sit here and say, but I want this and I want that and I want that, and not do anything about it. You have to take the steps.
Yeah. And that's for that first step, I promise you, is the scariest. It's like when you read,
honestly, you start running after that first step. It gives you a superpower. You feel like, what, I can do this, because you see the results once you're in the action. There's no better feeling than that.
Yeah. Almost every time I create a new client, once they make the payment, I ask them the question, how do you feel? And they usually say empowered, light, free, because when you make that first step, when you take that action to invest in yourself, the process is already in play. That's the first breakthrough. Making that investment is the first breakthrough. Once you're committed, then it's like, okay, it's game time. And usually when we're holding ourselves back, it's okay, because we might not be ready in that moment. And that's okay too. That really is, because this is our journey. Nobody can force the process on us. But I promise everybody who's listening right now, when you powerfully choose and you say enough is enough and you make that commitment, there is an immediate release of pressure that you have, because you in that moment have decided, I trust myself, I trust you, and I trust the process. Let's go. If you don't have a green light in any of those areas, so I'm going to say, if you're on a call with somebody, if you're ready to get help, but if there's an intuition that says, I don't trust this person, it is a no. Trust your intuition, trust your gut. Because if not, if you have that feeling, and that feeling it will carry with you. It won't go away. So you got to trust yourself, trust whoever it is that you're working with, whether it's a counselor, a therapist, a coach, a mentor, whoever. Trust your intuition, do your due diligence, and trust yourself. But really look at the process too, and make sure the process is aligned with how you want to take on the next level in your life, in your relationship, in your business.
And step into that power. Step into your power.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
beautiful
lot.
thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
Let us know what you're hearing. Let us know what you're seeing. And if you have a strong risk aversion, listen to the next podcast episode because we're going to help you see exactly where it's coming from and leave us a message. Let us know. What are you hearing? What are you taking away? And what are you going to do to get out of your way to take some calculated risks so that you can move the needle in the direction that you want to go in your life and your business and your relationships and everything in between.
Absolutely. Let's be unstoppable together, folks. It's so nice for you to be here today, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Well, friends, that is the end of our episode today. If you love this episode, hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And please share us with your friends and tag us on your socials at The Art of Being Unstoppable. So for today, have yourself a beautiful day, and let's be unstoppable together. See you next time.